Have you ever opened something so small, and found your whole heart inside? It was a cold Tuesday afternoon when a frail little girl with trembling hands held up a tiny wooden box, and asked a tired single father, "Can you open this?" My late mum left it to me. What he saw inside would change both of their lives forever. Before we begin, if stories that restore your faith in humanity mean something to you, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. Welcome to Heartfelt Moments, where real-life inspired stories remind us that kindness still exists. Mark Thompson never imagined his life would become so quiet. 2 years earlier, he had been a husband, a dreamer, a man who believed the future was steady and predictable. But after his wife passed away from a sudden illness, it was just him and his 6-year-old son, Caleb, in a small rental house in Ohio. Mark worked long shifts at a hardware store. He packed lunches, did laundry late at night, and learned how to braid hair for school picture day even though Caleb insisted he didn't need braids. Life was exhausting, but Mark kept going. Because when you're a parent, you don't get to fall apart for long. One afternoon, after picking Caleb up from school, Mark noticed a small girl sitting alone on a bench near the entrance. She looked about 7 years old, her brown hair thin and uneven, tucked under a soft pink knit cap. A light blue hospital mask rested under her chin. She wore a faded yellow sweater that hung loosely on her tiny frame. Beside her was a small oxygen tank on wheels. Caleb tugged on Mark's jacket. "Dad, that's Lily. She's in my class. She's sick a lot." Mark's heart tightened. As parents and children passed by, no one seemed to stop. Lily stared down at a small wooden box in her lap. It was old, scratched at the corners, with a tiny brass latch. Caleb let go of his father's hand and walked over. "Hi, Lily," he said gently. She looked up, her large gray eyes tired but kind. "Hi." Mark followed, offering a warm smile. "Hey there, are you waiting for someone?" She hesitated. "My aunt's late. She works 2 jobs." There was no complaint in her voice. Just fact. Then she looked at Mark, holding up the wooden box with shaking hands. "Can you open this?" she asked softly. "My late mum left it to me. I can't get it open." Mark crouched down. "Sure," he said carefully. "Let's take a look." The latch was stiff, almost rusted shut. He gently worked it back and forth. Lily watched closely, holding her breath. With a soft click, it opened. Inside wasn't money. It wasn't jewelry. It was a stack of small envelopes and a folded letter resting on top. The envelopes were labeled in careful handwriting. "For when you feel scared. Taught for your 10th birthday. For your first day of middle school. For when you miss me." Lily's fingers trembled as she picked up the folded letter. "Can you read it?" she asked Mark. He glanced at her, then nodded. The letter was written in blue ink, slightly smudged in places. "My sweet Lily," it began. "If you are reading this, it means I'm not there to hold your hand. But I need you to know something very important. You are stronger than any sickness. You are braver than any fear. And there will be kind people placed in your path when you need them most." Mark's voice caught. "You will meet people," he continued reading, "who won't even realize they are your angels. But they will help you. Let them. And when you can, be that angel for someone else." Tears streamed down Lily's face, but she didn't wipe them away. Mark swallowed hard. Caleb stood beside him, unusually quiet. At the bottom of the box was something else. A small envelope with Mark's name written on it. He froze. I think this one's for you," Lily said softly. "For me?" he whispered. She nodded. "Mum said sometimes strangers are part of the plan." His hands shook as he opened it. Inside was a single note. "To the one who opens this box," it read. "Thank you. Thank you for stopping. Thank you for caring for my daughter, even for a moment. I can't predict the future, but I believe in kindness. And I believe someone like you will help her see light when things feel dark." Mark couldn't speak. He had only opened a box. That was all. But somehow, it felt like something much bigger had opened inside him. Just then, a tired woman rushed toward them. "Lily, I'm so sorry I'm late." "It's okay, Aunt May," Lily said gently. Mark stood and introduced himself. Aunt May explained that Lily had a chronic illness and frequent hospital stays. Life had been overwhelming since her sister passed away. Without thinking too much, Mark said something that surprised even himself. "If you ever need help with school pickups, I'm here most days anyway." Aunt May blinked. "You don't even know us." Mark looked at Lily, then at Caleb. "Sometimes," he said quietly, "you don't have to." Weeks turned into months. Mark began picking Lily up when Aunt May worked late. Caleb and Lily did homework at the kitchen table. On good days, Lily laughed so loudly it filled the small house. On harder days, she rested on the couch while Mark made soup and Caleb told silly jokes. The envelopes in the box were opened one by one during difficult moments. For when you feel scared was read the night before a hospital procedure. For your birthday was opened at Mark's kitchen table, with cupcakes and 7 candles. And slowly, something beautiful happened. Kindness became routine. What started as a simple act of opening a box became dinners shared, rides given, hands held in hospital waiting rooms. One evening, as Lily sat bundled in a blanket, she looked at Mark and said, "Mom was right. You were part of the plan." Mark smiled through tears. "No," he said gently. "Your mom was part of the plan. She taught you how to see kindness." Years later, when Lily grew stronger and healthier, she volunteered at the children's hospital. She carried that same wooden box with her, now filled with new letters she had written herself. Letters for other children. Letters that said, "You are braver than you think." Letters that said, "There are kind people in this world." And every time Mark saw her walk through those hospital doors, he remembered that cold Tuesday afternoon. All because he stopped. All because he opened a box. Kindness doesn't always look dramatic. It doesn't always come with applause. Sometimes, it's just kneeling down to help a little girl open something she can't open herself. But in that small moment, you might unlock hope, you might restore faith. You might become someone's answered prayer without ever knowing you were needed. So the next time you see someone sitting alone, the next time you feel the nudge to help, listen to it, because you never know what's inside the box waiting to be opened. And you never know whose life, including your own, might be changed by a simple act of kindness. If this story touched your heart, remember to subscribe, like, and share your thoughts in the comments. This is Heartfelt Moments, and together, let's keep spreading kindness one small moment at a time.